29 points came in that fourth quarter. Jazz tying things up with the Thunder. He had 55 in his first 2 playoff games ever, Jalen.
I'm truly impressed by this young man, a rookie, doing it in all phases. You see him shooting the three. You see him shooting the runner. You see him playing off the catch. You see him playing off the dribble, leading this basketball team. But it was a total team effort. Ricky Rubio was terrific. So was Derek Favors. Rudy Gobert was really productive. The Utah Jazz compete on the defensive end as well as any team in the league. They stifled the Oklahoma City Thunder, in particular, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because, yes, Jazz were awesome. OKC's big three combined to go 0 for 14 in the fourth. Where's playoff P and his best friends?
A lot of those dynamics at play you see is one-on-one basketball. This where you enter Steven Adams to get more pick and roll action. He was ineffective. He fouled out. He had 6 fouls. You see Carmelo Anthony shooting and settling for threes when they're not going. I always look to see at Melo's stat sheet and Paul George, are they getting to the free throw line when their three-point shots are not going? They only attempted 8 total as opposed to 21 three-point attempts.
And of course, we got to go back to the Cavs because, yeah, they won, and it was a monster effort by LeBron. Pacers had a good chance to tie things up late. They didn't get it done. Kevin Love injured his left thumb. How good should this team feel right now?
They should feel really good, Bees, because you get down 0-2 at this point of the playoffs against the Indiana Pacers, then they lose. LeBron James was dominant when he needs to be. The problem for that team is right there. Kevin Love injuring his thumb. If he's going to be hobbled in any way, shape, or form and can't be his all-star level type performer, then the Cavs don't meet their goals this season.
Of course, we mentioned LeBron. He had finished with 46 points, so show us how he got
Get
any
to
of
play
that.
with the toys.
How did he get it done?
Yay. How about this? LeBron James, early in the basketball game, is on his personal 6-0 run. He was 0 for 7 in the first game in the restricted area. So here's what he's going to do right here. You see the king? He's like, you know what? I'm going to size this thing up.
Okay.
Nice pick and roll action right here in transition. And LeBron James isn't known to be much of a shooter. So the defender right here, Thad Young, he's going to go under. Why? We call this being open for a reason. LeBron James knocked down the 3, and you're like, uh-oh, it may be a long day. Tyronn Lue doesn't get a lot of credit for sets that are run with the Cleveland Cavaliers. So now I want to give the coach some props. Check this out. There's going to be some back screen action right here between 2 guys that can make shots, Kyle Korver and Kevin Love. All you're trying to do is get these defenders to help and get their body off of men. So watch this. Once you set this action, now you get a help guy right here, and boom, now he gets a run and start. Now, boom.
There we go.
Look at this right here. Now, all of a sudden, you get his body off of LeBron. He's trailing because he's a shooter. Now, when he recovers, guess what this guy's going to do? That's LeBron James. He's going to have a free run to the bucket. And before you know it, bang, bang.
I mean, goodness.
Now, how about this? Now, this is where it gets exciting. The Indiana Pacers have done a really good job of keeping themselves in the game, though LeBron has been dominant. And look, who's this that we've talked about that's been getting up in LeBron James and getting on his nerves?
My favorite.
That's your favorite right here, right?
Yep.
How about this? They have also another lockdown defender. I'm going to show you a few guys that play really well on the defensive side. Watch this. Boom. Not only him, but check this out. Watch this, Bees. I'm going to show you something that they didn't show you on the game. This is what LeBron James does. Look at him.
No.
And look at him.
No.
That's Coach Dave McMillan. They're on the ground.
What's happening?
Nobody. And then before you know it, look at LeBron.
Everyone's
so
on
he's
the
taking it to
ground.
the team and to the coach.
Okay, that was chaos. Lance, where were you? All right, we're going to keep the floor running. Over to Greeny.
All right, Beetle, yeah. So while Donovan Mitchell has been terrific, Karl Anthony Towns has not been. He struggled again in their Game 2 loss to the Rockets. Just 5 points, 2 of 9 from the floor. So he has just 13 points in the first 2 games. And after the game, Tom Thibodeau reiterated that Towns needs to play with more energy. Jalen, is that the solution? Is it as simple as playing with more energy?
Well, it's not that simple. Also, more aggression. When you look at the shot attempts by Karl Anthony Towns, they were an average of 13 feet, which means he's not necessarily attacking the bucket like that play as he should. When he's guarded by Nene and Capella, I'm seeing standstill shots or fadeaways.
That's Kenny Smith, and a source has told ESPN that the Jet, the TNT analyst, will interview for the Knicks head coach job tomorrow. He has never coached an NBA team. What does this make sense to you, Jalen, for the Knicks to be interviewing a candidate with no coaching experience?
Well, here's the thing about being a head coach. We've seen some people be really successful without having that level of experience. People underestimate playing basketball your entire life is experience. Analyzing basketball is also experience. I played for a first-time coach in Larry Bird who did really well.
And finally, Joel Embiid is officially listed as doubtful for Game 3 of the series, Sixers and Heat tonight. That series, of course, is tied up. And Jalen, we will get into the Embiid-less Sixers against the Heat tonight, but I want to go to the big number here, guys. Let's roll the big number of the day, because this is really remarkable. With Joel Embiid on the court, the Sixers had the scoring margin of a 68-win team this season. These are really advanced stats. I'm not going to get into all the details of how you accrue them, but when he's on the floor, just know their scoring margin equates to a team that would win 68 games. When he's not on the floor, the Sixers play like a 34-win team, and that includes their 16-game winning streak to win the regular season. So you're talking about a guy in Joel Embiid who, the way he's playing right now, would be more valuable than LeBron or anybody else. So he's not going to. He's questionable, doubtful, I should say, for the game tonight. Are you taken aback by how long it is taking for him to get on the floor?
Not at all, Greeny, because I got a chance to cover this young man in college. And unfortunately for him, he was not able to participate in the NCAA tournament due to injury. Then he got drafted. I actually compared him to Hakeem Olajuwon. And people were looking at me like I was crazy. I was like, he has great hands. Defensively, he can block shots. He can play out on the perimeter. He can shoot threes. He can turn over both shoulders. He is a dynamic talent.
But should they be this conservative at this point in the game?
Absolutely. That's why. And he's the person that owns the moniker, trust the process. And here's why you have to be patient with the player and protect him from himself. He's missed 243 games due to injury. And let me tell you where those injuries have occurred. His face, his ankle, his back, his knee, his elbow, and his foot. So therefore, if you're the Philadelphia 76ers, let's buy some time. Let's see if we can get up 2-1 in this series. Let's see if we can extend this series as long as possible to now bring Joel back later in the series or in the conference semifinals, because they have a legitimate chance to make it to the conference finals. And if the Cavs are hobbled, how about this? They have a chance to make it to the NBA finals.
If they lose this game, though, and he's not out there for Game 4, then are you going to change your story?
I would change my story, because that would let me know that there's something as it relates to him being cleared once for a concussion protocol, but it's something else to be cleared after you got surgery on your orbital bone.
So to make sure I'm clear on what you're saying, you're basically saying they think they can win without him. Like, if they desperately need him or needed him now, if they were down 2-0, he probably would be on the floor.
This is the first year he played back-to-backs, okay? You don't want him to get injured in the first round of the playoffs, because you know what happens? Then their goals don't happen.
Yeah.
These two are going to be real busy all weekend long, and it starts on Friday. You seeing this? We got games Friday night.